My name is Tate Cooper. I'm 17 years old and I'm from Columbia, Missouri. I'm at the IDF conference here in New Orleans. This is the, probably fifth or sixth IDF event I've been to. And I started coming to these because I have CVID, common variable. My story of getting diagnosed, it wasn't exactly an easy one. I wasn't diagnosed until I was 10. So the way it started out, I was born, thought I was a normal, healthy child. Within 2 weeks, I had pneumonia, caused a heart murmur. I was very sick throughout my early childhood, and then things kind of got better. Went to school, everything was good, and then starting about second grade, I would get repeated sinusitis infections throughout the school year. My health just really deteriorated. And finally, in fifth grade, it got to the point where I was sick throughout the whole year, school year, summer, and then I had a bronchitis that lasted from the end of September to mid-January. And after that, the doctors decided that it was good to test me and see if everything was all right. So we went to an ENT doctor who tested for this to try and rule out an immune deficiency. So we were expecting it to be negative. And I remember I bet my mom $5 that it would be positive. I don't know why, I just had a bad feeling that it would be. And since the odds are, 1 in 25 and 1 in 50,000, it was probably a pretty dumb bet on my part. But 2 weeks later, it was the last day of first semester in fifth grade. We had our little holiday celebration, went out on the playground after school. My mom went to talk to my teacher, and she was gone for a long time, which seemed strange. I couldn't figure out what they were talking about. I thought I was in trouble. And then I come home. My mom told me I won the bet and gave me $5. And that being diagnosed like that was a really shocking process because you never think you're the kid with that rare disease. I didn't identify with that. I was, a kid that played sports. Just a normal 10-year-old kid. I didn't think I was going to be one of those ones who had such a rare disease. And it really caught me off guard, and I didn't exactly know how to handle it. So tried to learn as much as we could about it. And in the few months after diagnosis, I couldn't start treatment yet. We had to retest immunizations and see if I could hold titers. And that was horrible because it was in January, February, March, flu season in an elementary school. And so I'd given a few talks and I compared it to catching a 90-mile-an-hour fastball with no cup. You felt exposed, and it was a pretty awful time, I remember. I really didn't know what to do, what to think, where to turn. My whole world was somewhat turned upside down. Finally, we started treatment about 4 months after I was diagnosed. And then we started reaching out. I went to a few IDF days in Minnesota and started meeting kids and connecting, just because when I was first diagnosed, the worst thing is you feel completely alone. You can't go and talk to a friend about it and say, hey, how's your immune deficiency doing? Because chances are none of the kids on your playground at school have that. And so it was great to be able to go to the IDF meetings and meet people and talk and just find other people that were similar to me and knew what I was going through. Since I've been diagnosed, I'd say my outlook on CVID and just any rare disease has changed a lot. Instead of viewing it as a negative, I see all the positives it's given me in my life. I have great perspective on life. Things that would have used to have bothered me, a bad grade on a test, bad game, things like that. It really puts it in perspective when you think about how important my immune system is, how big that is, how that impacts everything. A bad test grade, that doesn't mean much. And I've learned to take everything for granted because I might not be healthy the next day. So if I have an option to go out and do something, yeah, why not? So I've learned to live life a lot more fully and be a lot more grateful for what I have. And I think just realizing that and getting that perspective from it has made me a much stronger, better person with my friends, in sports and school and all around.